about standing in those top 4, making sure you're keeping up with those top teams, making sure that you can be considered one of the contenders. Going into the spring split and then obviously summer split and the world's spots, the top 2, I think that should be the end goal for Team Wales as they've been playing. But today they've not really, or they've at least only shown that form in one game, and they have to show it in a third now as well.
Yes, so now we're gonna see there's a bit of pressure bot lane to make sure B could set up those towers for that lane to help get that lane control. But now with everyone going, it gives an option, an angle for Team Secret to maybe try and clear things out. Not even going to attempt it. We have to be a little bit careful for the side of Team Wales. Zuhao could. There is a lot of kill threat, as mentioned, between Eddie and Zuhao. Huge amounts of CC. Not really a good big combat summoner, going for that ghost instead, looking to wait for the late game. But with Skewed starting on that blue buff and pushing down towards, clearing down towards the bot side, it's going to be up to Vit and B to play this out very well. They'll get a lot of pressure, but they aren't exactly mobile champions either.
Absolutely not. I think they want to have a bounce on the third wave here at least, to make sure that they're safe. And considering Vice clear it, they might actually be looking for a bounce on the second wave here, but that's not going to be easy because Eddie and Juho, they're going to try their best to stop it from happening. But with the level 2 coming in first, I think it's going to be hard for them to do anything about it. That's the strength of Heimerdinger, especially level 1 with those turrets. Can just force out your enemies. And Vit should be pushing right now. Yep, so they're bouncing second wave. They are aware that jungle is coming down here, and now they should be backing off soon.
They actually get a good chunk onto Zuhan. That should, if nothing else, dissuade a full engage from the side of Team Secret. And they have a good, decent ward in the river, so they might be aware of Skewed. But perhaps
Skewed
not.
really...
He's gone over into the river ward, but he's spotted, so Team Wales can play it safe.
Yeah, I mean, Skewed really tried to get creative with this gank pathing. Once he queued over the Drake wall to avoid wards, then he went from behind, basically out of Team Wales' own jungle, to get into that bush, but used Q for it, so he had Q cooldown, needed to wait, and they had that ward in the river, so in the end he got spotted out, didn't have the Q to immediately go, so they're safe on bot lane. They played a bit with a bit of a risk, but in the end it worked out fine for them, and now but all lanes are basically dead even, which should be an advantage for Team Wales, because especially in the mid game, I see the team comp really ramping up 1 to 2 items, especially the 2-item power spike on champions like Nagia, on champions like Glory is insanely strong. And what I kind of want to see is also what Glory goes for, if he actually goes for the tier item build, or if he goes for an immediate instant Rabadons, to make sure that he's as strong as possible on those 2-3 items.
Yeah, I think you can absolutely pick up the tier and then sit on that. Just sit on the extra mana source as you go for the Rabadons. But yeah, we do see a small lead sort of come out for the side of Wales. Mostly Killer Queen getting in a little bit of counter jungling. And of course, alone time for the Vega to just slowly sit up and farm some free AP is going to be just grand for him. So everything coming up, everything going A-okay, and every time this Deadly Flourish lands, Zuhao just eats so much damage with the follow-up grenade that this duo is really nullifying the effectiveness of Zuhao.
Yep, and that's how you play against those hard engage lanes, right? They either have to hard engage before you poke them out, or they're gonna take a lot of punishment. And so far, Vit and B have been really smart and nice about those punishments. And it isn't agency in a traditional sense for B with that Heimerdinger, of course, with like an engaged champion, but it gives him a lot of control in this lane to really just win the lane on his own, make sure that all Vit has to do is hit those Ws, hit those deadly flourishes, and help out the support that way. And otherwise, B is just winning the lane 1v2, which of course is kind of what we want to see. We want to see B on the map. We want to see B winning lane, because then I think he's really great at just shot calling his team to victory.
Very early dragon start, of course, can be done. they spotted Skewed, and with these Drakes in hand, they feel comfortable doing it. They know Eddie and Zuhao did reset, and a good catch by B. That will send Skewed running, and that should secure the dragon for sure. But can Glory land a good cage? Yes, he can. And the follow-up, not going to happen because Zuhao was there, and that will be first blood to Team Secret. Now, Team Wales on a bit of a scatter. Can they finish it off? Artifact really low, but it's still just the one kill. And it's a health lead, technically, for Wales, but they did lose first blood.
They absolutely didn't. They just overextended. They went too deep. There was no reason after Drake to really look for anything. They could have just gone back to their waves, pushed out those waves, and played it further because they got the early Drake, and they're really just happy doing that. But in the end, they overextend, and it is going to be first blood onto B, who got caught out by the hook around the wall, which was a nice hook from Zhuhao as well. But in the end, just more mistakes from Wales, but they should be able to get back into it. And it's also really sad that Glory didn't really find an ultimate onto anybody because there were so many targets he could have just one-shot with ultimate in the end. Again, here they go to deep. Zhuhao catches out B, and B dies immediately. And it's again Eddie picking up the kills. And now we can see it. If he gets the... Okay, we don't see it further. But if he gets the ulti onto anybody there, I think that person kind of just dies.
Yeah, it's a bit of a not quite willing to pull the trigger from Glory. Wasn't in range to blow up Skewed immediately, of course. And then no one really got low enough until after he joined the fight. So bit rough. Now Killer Queen's going to be looking for something, maybe. Just maybe predicting a gank and wanting to be around for the counter. But all in all, not much time wasted, and the wave will bounce.
Yes, it will, but Vi is still looking. I think she should get level... No, she isn't actually getting level 6 from those Crocs. Still has to do her red buff as well. Now you see Killer Queen into topside, and the bot lane resetting. Vit is cancelling here, so reset actually. He wants to just catch the next wave. He thinks that Eddie and Zhuhao are just going to look to one-shot the next wave. They did that on the last reset, so he's baiting them to one-shot this wave and just takes his wave safely on the turret, and it's just shitting all around. But Eddie and Zhuhao are actually looking for the turret with 4-man hovering towards bot side. Vid is just... He needs to back off, and that means he should have actually taken the reset because he's not able to approach the turret anyways.
Yeah, topside has been open for the side of Nagia, and it means a Rift Herald should be the free for Killer Queen. But with all that pressure down, that's plates traded essentially onto Eddie for this Rift Herald. And it's still, the Feed Desire angle has been going pretty well for them. So as long as they can keep this up, it's going to go all right. As now that B is back, they can fight back, and Team Secret has to split.
Yep, and so far we're just seeing now that gold is being funneled into Nagia, so he can be that poking threat in the mid game. He can move out, and now Skewed is top lane as well. Killer Queen gets him spotted, so that means they know Skewed is here and they could counter gank. But again, the Talia with her wall always being able to join first. She has a prior on mid lane, plus that ultimate means that he is much more mobile on the map. Glory, of course, still has that small farm advantage, and of course has a stack, so he's chilling in lane. But for his team, it always means they have to be careful what they do, because Talia could join at any minute. And now it is a pretty slow game, but I think that favors Team Wales, and Hero just used his ultimate and now is getting ganked by 2 people.
Yeah, that he's just trying to clear out the wave, but now just in a rough position, able to hop away a little bit, and decent wallop, but Shot Blast will land, and it's a kill rather to Nagia, and that's really all she wrote. It's a bit of an engage down for Team Secret. B very low, so is Eddie, but Skew gets to be here first, and with that cease and desist in hand, trapped under tower though, it will be traded back. So 1-for-1 in the gank works out pretty well. They're going to crash a wave and perhaps get a turret. No, here's Artifact. Sorry, B. And okay.
Comes in.
Teleport coming in. Good knockback though from Artifact. So wave gets collected, but nothing really done by Glory. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was Vid and B not really respecting the cross map. They could have just backed off. They took a fight anyways. It was a really close fight. They nearly killed Eddie, sure, but they shouldn't be posturing here. I mean, they should just back off because they should know that there's a cross map coming for that top play. Eddie flashing in, actually nearly dying, not really being able to hit anything onto BB, sidestepping everything, and then of course the flash is being followed. But, and that's the big but, Skewed actually jumping behind Vit there under the turret, gets stunned, gets killed, and now B gets killed by the fourth man. Artifact coming in. Glory TP gets to catch the wave, but doesn't really get anything else.
Yeah, they will, however, find this dragon. So dragon stacking going well for the side of Team Wales. And if they can pick up these mountain drakes, that will help them out immensely, as they don't have much tankiness innately. So being able to withstand a little bit more of that poke from Artifact and a bit more of the all-ins will be nice for them.
Yeah, especially since Vega specifically is going for that Rod of Ages Rod of Ages item build, obviously, and that means he has a lot of HP, and with a bit more armor and magic resist through that Drake, he can really be tanky as well. So it's really hard for the backline diver to just one-shot him. And then again, Zaya, Eddie, really strong, but he isn't that strong in the dive. He can't really follow up his divers too good if there's space built, if there's a Vega cage down, if there's B turrets slowing him down. So that's something you always have to remember. And now I think they're looking back onto Hero. Hero does have his flash back up, and of course the double jump that comes with Mininar.
But with the Rift Herald, that tower will drop. Skewed is just lurking, and they're going to try and set up a counter gank onto Killer Queen. They're going to immediately blow him up. The tower doesn't even actually fall, and good flash from the gear, but it's not going to amount to too much. Skewed quite low, just going to need the Primordial Burst, but he actually misclicks onto Hero. Hero's going to try and get the Mega Knight. He does. He should fall, but no, everything is just not coming together for Wales. Just, it's tragic. As Skewed and Hero both showing up on I Shouldn't Be Alive. God.
He misclicked.
No.
He missed Vega already. He missed Vega already.
Just slightly missed on the vision, I assume.
I don't know. We have to see it. I mean, first, good catch here onto Killer Queen, good 4-man collapse, and now we see. I mean, no, there's no reason. No,
okay.
No, okay. He's just bad.
He just panicked. And B missed the rockets as well on Hero.
Oh no.
Just game of inches. Team Wales perhaps getting in their own heads, just making these small errors. And it's just giving Team Secret that little bit of an advantage. That 1,000 gold lead should be essentially balanced by the two dragons, and of course the infinite scaling potential of the Vega, but it's not looking so hot. What?
Okay. Beautiful transition at that point. Great. Honestly, perfect to your talking point. I mean, generally, there isn't really gold lead to talk about 400 gold now between the two teams, and that's a big but. It could be a decently good big gold lead for Team Wales if they had actually executed on the top play correctly. If bot lane hadn't been called out, if that gold advantage, if that kill advantage wouldn't exist. And now on the other side, the Herald is actually being started, and with four people being at that Herald, I don't think Team Wales can contest or wants to contest, and they are going to make me eat my words once again.
Yeah.
And as Killer Queen jumps into the pit, he has ultimate, he can look for a steal, and he can look for a flank.
He has W to just get back out, so this should be a free one for Team Secret, but they might try to make the next fight happen. Vit opens up with the ultimate and just ends up having to cancel immediately, as the turn straight back onto Team Wales is huge. Once again, only Skewed is dying, and Eddie got to wrap around the fight. Vit cannot get involved. B is doing his best to try and kill Artifacts, but what can this Jhin do? Nothing, because he's not a real AD carry. And now B will get run down by Hero eventually. Probably.
Emotes coming out already. B, of course, trying his best to fight out Hero here, but he dies. And I'm hoping we get a replay of that team fight because what is Team Wales doing? It's like they forgot how to fight altogether in the last 2 games because what they did in this fight it makes no sense. I mean, they're not respecting Nar whatsoever. Like they're getting nearly 3-man hit by that Talia. They're not respecting Talia at all. Now they're splitting up, and it's just the freest Nar game of his life. I mean, huh? I really don't get it.
I don't understand.
I mean, both team comps like rely very heavily on being first on objectives, just having the setup, having the vision to not be flanked and just to be able to play with their zone control. Both teams have great zone control, and Team Wales just doesn't respect that at all. They're not cross-mapping. They're not, for example, just walking onto mid-turret, basically telling Team Secret that, yes, you can have Herald, but we just walk at your mid-turret, and if you want to come to us, then you lose the fight in mid lane because suddenly you have to run into us. No, they're running into Team Secret. They're getting punished, and now suddenly you have a 3k gold advantage, and it's really easy for one of these teams to start snowballing and the other team not really having the damage to kill anybody. And I think we might already come to that point where it's going to be really hard to force any kills because Nar is much tankier than he should be in the game state. The Vi is much tankier than she should be in the game state, and it's all because of that gold advantage.
Another attempt onto B, but now maybe the turn back is enough. Nope, everyone can just stand in front of the bullets from Vit. Skewed will go down, but it is both junglers traded. Zuhao is low, so health advantage currently for the side of Team Wales, and they can set up their zone control right now. B is looking to back right now, but okay, it's just going to be the 1-for-1. No one's going to really get a chance at the dragon just yet. Though, actually, Team Secret, I like this call. As Wales vacate the area completely, it doesn't matter if you don't have your jungler, you can just take the dragon.
Yeah, and it's also because important ultis for Team Secret are just still up. Wales has used basically every important ultimate they have. I mean, they have used every ultimate they have. They only have Jace left. And on the other hand, you had Mega Nar with the ultimate up. You still have Eddie with ultimate. So it was really hard for Wales to force another fight, to win another fight. And especially within that fight again, he didn't really land any shots on important targets again, even though it should have been a shooting gallery. It should have been a good angle for him to just chunk out people with his ultimate, but wasn't really able to do. And I'm not sure how they're gonna able to build those team fights because right now Killer Queen is just going in and dying all the time.
I think really this fundamentally comes up to my biggest problem with Jhin, as hold on, Hero might be in trouble right now. The attacks do come through. Glory doesn't actually get to participate, so just a solo kill for Nagia. Yeah, my problem with Jhin is his ultimate doesn't actually do a lot of damage because a lot of it is execute based.
I mean, yes.
So whenever Jhin opens up in an ultimate to start a fight, it ends up sort of looking like he does no damage and then can't participate actually. And the fight's over before he can walk in with auto attacks.
But like the item build he's building should change that. I mean, he's building full lethality. So the ulti actually has okay base damage, but usually you don't really see it because you don't have armor pen, right? And it gets really easily reduced by armor. But on squishy targets with this item build, he should actually be doing a decent amount of damage, even with his ulti shots. But I think he missed like 2 or even 3 out of his 4 ulti shots because he tried to shoot on random targets, and that's just not great.
Yeah. So once again, we're just seeing the 80 carry sort of getting out of hand for Team Wales. Eddie right now 3 kills up, has 50 CS over his opponent, and it's about 3,000 gold lead. You could probably say most of that is on the 80 carry, but yeah, every lane is except top perhaps just sort of struggling with all the side of Team Wales right now, or top jungle.
Yeah, I think, I mean, all around, I think Vega can also do still a lot, but now he's getting actually engaged on.
Yeah, and not much you can do there from as Glory, just sort of put into the bounce house and knocked down. And with Baron spawning, that is pretty unfortunate timing because now Team Secret are just going to turn straight onto it. And you can't really approach as Team Wales, as we've already sort of established. You can't, neither team can really approach. Zuhao will scuff up his hook, and that will take a lot of punishment for that, but they're doing their job and keeping Wales out of the pit. Zuhao, Killer Queen just gets killed by Hero, who almost kills me. Wait, he stole that.
Wait, he has an Ashe. Oh no.
How the hell did Vit steal that?
With this third shot. His third one. I didn't even really realize. Oh my god.
Yeah, I just saw Team Wells walking away with the buff, and it was like, wait, hang on, huh?
Oh no, Skewed is
Okay.
getting outsmited by Jin third shot, not even fourth shot, because that's one he used to actually kill the Gnar, and we can look back on it. Yeah, I mean, Juhao is a bit too deep, gets punished for it, then Hero tries to play the zoning Gnar, tries to just take out Killer Queen, which he does effectively, and now look at, oh my god, he smited on 88 HP.
Just a miracle steal from the side of Vit there. Picks up a Baron, and it's not going to do a lot. Currently, it's not that much, but it's just going to be as what Team Wales can do with it to try and turn it back around. Killer Queen going to kill Skewed, going to try and catch onto Artifact as well. Flash forced. Still a minute till Dragon, so not going to find anything there. Nagia jumping straight onto Eddie. Can they continue? Shock Blast just narrowly missing, but that's going to open up a mid lane tower. And if they can continue this push, maybe get the second tower, and then have full control over the Dragon. This could be the big comeback.
Remember. Yeah, and something to remember is that the gold lead now is basically non-existent. It's very much no big gold lead here anymore for this Team Secret side. They should have taken that little bit of a gold lead and snowballed it into a win, but in the end, the Nash gets stolen, and that means they're now dead even. Drake is going to be spawning in 20 seconds, which means they're going to be really late, so they might just give up the Drake anyways, take the two mid lane turrets, take the gold that comes with that, and yes, you're giving up a second Drake, but it's only the second Drake, and it gives you more armor and magic resist, but it's fine because again, I don't want them to see. I don't want them to walk in here. I think walking in is just really hard for them to do, and I think it's better to just accept that you're losing it and try to get something on top lane. But the wave is not in position, and seems they're still playing for it.
Yeah, as long as someone doesn't get caught out, it's still okay. They're just going to try and force the issue mid. Maybe try and make Team Secret overstep, or at least force them to vacate the river. Hero has a very good, healthy Gnar bar, though, so they want to try and make him pop that prematurely. They succeed in doing so, but can they actually get control over this Dragon as I get a bit of a freeze? Okay, I can see again. Hero caught out, though, and that's going to be one removed. Team Secret are going to just try and start up the Dragon in response, but now Vit opens up that curtain call, and now Team Secret have to run. Fourth shot does connect onto Skewed, and with that, he is just out of this. Glory could find a good cage. Good shock blast onto Eddie, and that should be a convert from Killer Queen to get trapped in the baby cage. Zuhao will fall shortly, and Nagira is going to try and kill Artifact on the end. Vit snipes him down, and it's a clean ace, and Team Wales are back in it. Going to be able to pick up their soul point as well.
And I think we saw what Team Wales Team Comp actually want to do. That's how they want to play. They want to play it slow. And it is actually B who smurfs this team fight because he realizes that he can actually mark Hero in the team fight. So Hero wants to go for a flank, but what B does is just he puts himself between his team and Hero and tells Hero, you have to walk through me. While Hero's trying that, he gets stunned. He gets then hit by the Deadly Flourish as well, and then collapsed on and killed. And that's just really well played from the support. And it's one of the things that Heimerdinger can actually do as a support is mark those flanks and make sure that they're not getting by him. And we can see the turrets and B just zoning him out and Deadly Flourish hits, and then you can commit on him with a good flash from Glory as well to make sure that this Gnar really dies.
Yeah, and the secondary engage, these slows doing a lot of work, a lot of damage. That fourth shot connecting, I think, was the signal for Team Wales to full commit because of how low everybody got, and just Eddie getting chunked out. Even though he ults to avoid the initial blast of the Cyclone, he still has to come back down. So very nice team fight this time around from Team Wales. Sticking as a unit, playing to their win conditions, and very much rewarded. Now they have the gold lead. They have the Dragon control. And now they just need to sit and make sure that they own this Baron pit. Because that's going to be the next objective. And we've already seen that if whoever's there first tends to have the better advantage in the fight.
Absolutely. And one thing that we have to say is Eddie. Yes, he's very, very strong in desire, but we saw in the last team fight, he doesn't get to auto deck. He took 2 shock blasts and a Jin ultimate, and he's dead. And that's going to be
straight in onto B. A lot committed. The hook does land onto Killer Queen's clone. So skewed. Oh, the wraparound from Vit. And now Killer Queen can go for this follow-up. Hero will fall down. Killer Queen's going to try and pick up Zuhao as well, but can't quite make it in. Baron a little bit away. So Killer Queen has time to go and heal if he needs to. But Jungler dead. Baron should be Team Wales.
And there we can see what Team Wales Team Com does when you try to engage it. It's so easy for them to just get out, and B really isn't the target you want to go on as well. And Skewed instant has to flash out because of the baby cage, and in the end, it's really easy for Team Wales to just turn it, because if you don't close to this team comp, they just arrange you, they just run you down, and yeah, that's the strength of being first. And we will see that throughout the game. Whoever is first on the objective just will have the advantage.
Oh, that was
ultimate from Heimedding as well.
Those grenades, yeah.
And there we see what happens when we land the Jin ultimates as well. They actually deal damage with this lethality item build. He's really just an ult and W bot in this game, and I like it because, well, it might not be the best champion, but it's definitely something that even Vit can do, and so far it's been working.
Yeah, we see the roller coaster of the gold come on through. Baron in the hands of Team Wales. They still have plenty of options in terms of gold to take down. But of course, Team Secret can just sort of try and set up their own traps and make Team Wales have to push into them, which is a bit difficult. So Team Wales not going to try and play 4-1 or anything, just trying to stick as a group, knock down towers, try and get as much control on the bottom side of the map as they can so they can rotate into that dragon objective when it comes up.
Absolutely, they can now flank TP from Heroes coming in. He is nearly Mega Gnar, but we can already see the shot blast already landing.
Yeah.
The flank just doesn't come through. He's too deep, and his team dies before he even arrives, and that's the range advantage that you have. Any CC landing means somebody dies, even the Nautilus. And now in the base, it should probably be the game. They have to find some engage with Hero. The Hero ultimate from this Gnar might turn it, but it's not going to be easy.
And once again, B's whole job is to make sure that Narbar cannot transform. You see them doing his best to harass Hero and force that out early. Now, Killer Queen could be in a bad angle. There is a flash on Hero, but still just trying to keep the pressure on. 50 seconds. Oh, will find an ultimate onto Glory, but in the end, may have gone a bit too far, but actually the drag back of Killer Queen and Glory under the tower means they get to stay okay. This makes taking the dragon a little bit of an improbability, as the wall will cut off Team Wales' angle. And this should be a good mid push for the side of Team Secret, but this response from Wales is even better.
I mean, they just walk into enemy base. They have the Baron, they have a super minion, and that means they can just walk it in. They have the Heimerdinger as well with the turrets. They have a lot of damage to those turrets, and they're just ending the game. This is over.
They just let them win. They forgot their base was open, and now Team Wales is just gonna hit the Nexus. 50 gold to Vit and a 2-1 win for Team Wales, giving them third place.